This really is just such a happy food. Hi, I'm Amy Traverso, Senior Food Editor at Yankee Magazine and co-host of Weekends with Yankee. And today I'm going to be making glazed chocolate potato donut muffins. Aroostook County in northern Maine is the potato growing capital of New England. And they find all kinds of novel ways to use potatoes, including in potato donuts. So I wanted to adapt the potato donut to a muffin. The potatoes add this incredible moisture and wonderful texture without making the donuts heavy or tough. It's kind of magical. I've got my mashed potatoes here that I made for dinner last night, so let me show you how to make them. So like many cake and muffin recipes, this starts by creaming some butter and sugar together for 3 to 4 minutes until it gets fluffy. I have 1 cup of brown sugar and 6 tablespoons of salted butter. So my mixture has the texture of kind of a slightly fluffy sand, and now I'm going to add 2 eggs, and that's really going to fluff it up. I'm going to do this one at a time and mix after each. That's my base. Now I'm going to mix my dry ingredients, and this is really, really simple. So I've got 1½ cups of all-purpose flour, 1/3 cup of cocoa powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of table salt. And now I just whisk this together until it's evenly blended. For the final mixing, I'm going to start by adding 1/3 of the dry ingredients to the butter mixture. Mix that up. So now I'm going to add my mashed potatoes. You can really use any mashed potatoes you have. I made these the other night. They have butter and salt in them. If you don't have any mashed potatoes on hand, you can always cook some up and rice them and they'll be good to go. For my last ingredient, I've got 2/3 cup of buttermilk, which I'm going to add alternating with the dry ingredients. Now, one of the things that's hardest to replicate when you're turning a donut into a muffin is the crunchy exterior. So to work around that, what I've done is I've buttered my muffin tin and then I've sprinkled sugar and I kind of tilted the pan around to spread it. So you get that little crunch on the outside, which is really nice. So I'm using a large cookie scoop to just scoop the batter into the muffin wells. So I'm going to put this in a 375-degree oven, and you can bake it until they're nicely puffed and look set, which is about 15 to 18 minutes. My donuts are out of the oven and they're cooled, which is important. And I love how they have this texture. They have these sort of cracks on the surface, which is just like donuts look when they come out of the fryer. So this is a fun food, and I wanted a fun topping. To make the glaze, I've got 2½ tablespoons of milk and 1½ cups of powdered sugar. Just mix that together. It gives you just the right pourable consistency, but not too thin. You want it to kind of cling to the muffins. The texture of this glaze is a little bit like honey. It's nice and thick. And I kind of start in the center and like do a little bit of a circle motion, working out to the side so that it oozes evenly. So I've let my glaze sit for just 2 minutes, just so it stops moving, because now I'm going to add the sprinkles. They're going to bounce. It's okay. This really is just such a happy food. It makes me happy to make and to see it. And really you can serve these for breakfast or a snack or even dessert. They really straddle the line between muffin and cupcake. So serve them whenever you like. And now I've got to try one because they just look too good. They're really chocolatey and rich. It was important to me that this have the texture of a donut, and they do, without being heavy. And they're easier to make than donuts. So I think this is a good one. For the full recipe, you can go to newengland.com.